everyone. Thanks for joining us here on Inside Winston Cup Racing. I'm at the Charlotte Motor Speedway where the Winston Select was run last night. And as always, some controversy, a lot of action. The sparks were flying. Jeff Gordon, there was no controversy as far as he was concerned because he dominated the race from start to finish. Bill Weber's in our studios in Charlotte, and he has a post-race report as well as a pre-race report for the Busch cars who will be running at Nazareth, Pennsylvania this afternoon. Good morning, Bill.
Hi, Ned, and good morning, everyone. The fireworks have finally cooled, and once again, NASCAR's annual All-Star event has sparked controversy and criticism. And once again, it electrified the fans. Jeff Gordon thundered to victory while lightning struck several pre-race favorites. We'll have the recap, plus a look ahead to today's Busch Series race. We'll also look at qualifying preparation. Each week, the heat is on to make the race. That's why the cars qualify on Friday. And we'll catch up with high-flying safety guru Bill Simpson. All on the morning edition of IWCR for Sunday, May 21st. Today's show is brought to you by Texaco Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil. Add more life to your car. Cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft, making the world a very cool place. And by Goodyear, #1 in racing, #1 in tires. Today's Winston Cup highlights are brought to you by Texaco Haviland Formula 3. Add more life to your car. Last night, all the fireworks weren't in the sky. Once again, this annual All-Star event packed the house and thrilled the fans. Jeff Gordon's Monte Carlo muscle took most of the sizzle out of the finish, but there was plenty of excitement right from the start, beginning on Friday. The fuse for 2 days of sheer speed and excitement was lit on Friday. First, in two-lap qualifying for the Open, Ken Schrader crashed on his run, and Randy LaJoie spun the MBNA Pontiac, but both still earned a spot in the starting field. Bobby Labonte cemented the pole for the main event with 3 thrilling laps in his Interstate Battery Chevrolet, plus 1 lightning-quick pit stop. The transfer race Saturday night was punctuated with a screeching crash in Turn 4 on lap 1. Ward Burton's Hardy Chevy simply didn't stick to the racing surface, whirling into the wall. The crash crippled the cars of Jeremy Mayfield, Chuck Bown, Brad Teague, Kyle Petty, and Pancho Carter. Todd Bodine in his Factory Stores of America Ford was the star of this show, sawing his way through the field twice inside of 50 laps to lead 5 drivers into the explosive 20-car main event. The first 30-lap segment was an uneventful chase that saw Jeff Gordon blaze a path from 7th to 1st, leaving the rest of the field hidden in the shadows cast by Charlotte's bright lights. The sparks started flying when the field was inverted for the second 30-lap segment. Jimmy Spencer and Ken Schrader split Robert Presley's Skull Machine heading into Turn 1. Then storming through the corner, Spencer could not keep his Ford pinned to the bottom, and the 2 cars collided. Dale Earnhardt got caught up in traffic. Both Earnhardt and Spencer continued, but Schrader retired with his second wrecked race car of the weekend. On lap 39, again in Turn 4, Earnhardt appeared to touch Dale Jarrett's Haviland Ford, igniting a multi-car crash that collected Spencer, Todd Bodine, and Mark Martin's Valvoline Ford. Under green, Gordon again charged to the front of the field and pulled away, taking the chase out of the race. Darrell Waltrip's stout Western Auto ride rumbled into second place, followed by Earnhardt. Sterling Marlin's Kodak Chevy was 4th, with an impressive Mike Wallace 5th in the Heilig-Myers Ford after 60 laps. Once again, the race saved the real fireworks for the final 10-lap shootout. On the first lap, Earnhardt and Waltrip tangled in Turn 4. Earnhardt's Chevy rode Waltrip into the wall and sent the rest of the field scrambling. Earnhardt, Waltrip, Blake Speed, and Bobby Labonte were all finished for the night. On the final restart, no one could touch Gordon. Fast since Friday, Gordon flashed to the finish as the youngest winner in the history of this event. Marlin was second, followed by 3 Fords, Ricky Rudd's Tide Ride, the Miller Genuine Draft Machine of Rusty Wallace, and the Exide Batteries Ford of Jeff Bodine.
When you're giving a car this good, there's just no holding back, and you know, it would have been tough if Earnhardt and Darrell wouldn't have wrecked there because they snookered me on that start, but I sure would like to have been there to race them because I think we certainly had something for them. We had something for them all night tonight. You know, we wanted a clean sweep, but I really didn't want to start on the pole for that last 10-lapper. That was not the place to be, but we got a good start that last time, and we took off, man. The thing was just awesome tonight.
just like the race, the post-race quotes were pretty spicy. For example, Ken Schrader calling Jimmy Spencer an idiot. Well, when it was over, I talked with several of the top finishers. Well, your view of an exciting evening here at Charlotte.
Well, there's a lot of sparks. I tell you, I was behind a bunch of stuff and missed a bunch, but yeah, the Kodak team done a great job. I wrecked the primary car this evening, and they drug us off the truck, and it was Darlington feature winner, and she come through with us, run second, but run second this thing 3 times, maybe win it one day.
Tough to catch the 24 car?
Yeah, he was real good. I think we was about even on new tires, and if he could beat me a little bit on the long run, our car would get tied, and I think we got a real good car for the 600.
Hey, Ricky, not all the winners are in victory lane tonight. That's a successful evening for you.
Well, we about lost it one time. I got under Jeff and got crossed up and actually just wrecked, but didn't hit nothing.
Hey, survived, man.
Man, I tell you, this is the guy ran all over top of him. We both saved it. I don't know how we done it. I'm just glad we survived that race. A lot of guys didn't. I feel fortunate.
What happened in that incident?
Well, it was just my fault. I drove under Jeff. He slipped up the racetrack, and I drove under him, and I guess just don't have quite enough rear spoiler on it. When I did, it just took the wind off, and my car broke loose, and I ricocheted off him about 3 times, and he kept mad at me or something.
That was a wild night, you guys. We've had wild Winstons before, but this one might top all of them.
It was, I'd like to say it was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun sitting here right now. Out there, you're right busy. I've never taken a trip through the grass in the tri-oval, and I took one tonight and didn't spin, so I'm happy to be here in one piece.
Yeah, I'm too. Same here.
I had a wonderful night, regardless of what our finish was. You know, we finished 8th. I really think we would have finished 3rd in the select. I was just happy to get in the Winston select. You know, that was a big goal, and we ran 4th in the open, and it really couldn't be any better. You know, normal driver, though, you're disappointed that something happened and took you out of a 3rd place finish and ended up 8th. But this is the same race car we were planning on running next week at Charlotte, and so we can go home and clean it up and bring it back next week. And it was a great performance for the Heilig-Myers Ford Thunderbird team this week. We were really happy.
David Green will lead the field to the flag when the Busch Series rolls off in the Meridian Advantage 200 this afternoon in Nazareth, Pennsylvania. And you can see it live right here on TNN beginning at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. Green has his swift Slim Jim Chevy on the pole, hunting for his 2nd win of the season. He's flanked on the front row by Tim Fedewa. Jeff Green shares the 2nd row with the DeWalt Tool Chevy of Hermie Sadler. Point leader Johnny Benson has the Lipton T Chevy 5th, next to rookie Curtis Markham in the Lysol Pontiac. Kevin LePage and Dirk Stevens make up row 4. Larry Pearson is 9th in the Stanley Tool Chevy, and Doug Hebron starts the Cincinnati Millicron Ford in 10th place. Now tonight at 7 Eastern Time, we'll have the post-race reports from Nazareth and more highlights and reaction from last night's bash at Charlotte. Coming up, we'll join Ned Jarrett at Simpson World in Mooresville, North Carolina. First, the starting grid for the Meridian Advantage 200. And don't forget, live coverage at 1 o'clock right here on TNN.
We're in Mooresville, North Carolina at the brand new headquarters of Simpson World, makers of safety equipment and other products for the sport of auto racing. Have you ever wondered what goes on at a racetrack early on Friday morning, say, before you get there to watch practice and qualifying? Well, when the teams move in about 7 o'clock in the morning, the activity really starts. We thought it would be interesting to show you what goes on as they prepare for practice and qualifying.
Just before sunrise, the final quiet moments of a busy Winston Cup weekend. The huge team haulers, poised in a muffled slumber, slowly awaken, then proceed to carry their precious cargo into the racetrack. This parade of precision is the beginning of 3 days of preparation and execution. After cautiously crawling to the garage, the rigs are parked by the priority and the points, and are then transformed to a workshop on wheels.
Well, I'll tell you, the first thing we do, we all line up and we watch old one-shot Walker, a truck driver. He parks that truck, and then we all jump in there, we unload the car, the toolbox and all that stuff, set up the scales, and then we pull the fuel cells out of the car, and the engine guy takes and gets the motor ready to P&G. They check the size of the engine, and basically the inspectors come by, they go underneath the car. When we're done with that process, we put the fuel cell back in it, then we roll over to the inspection line. That's where we do all the templates on the car, and they check all the heights and all that stuff, and then we get our sticker and we're ready to go on the racetrack.
As the sun slowly rises, crews swarm around their rig and their race car. It's early Friday morning, but the race has already begun.
Well, you need to be qualifying ready, that's for sure. You just don't have that much time for practice, and if there's a few problems during the practice session with other cars and it limits your time on the racetrack, you need to be as prepared as you can be when you unroll off that truck.
Well, it's very important. Now, sometimes we only get an hour and a half of practice before qualifying, and when you get a field with 52 cars, you know, it's very important that you're prepared when you get here. You don't have time to work on brake problems or radiator problems or motor problems. You need to be ready when the car rolls off the truck.
Mechanically wise, the car is prepared when it leaves level cross. You know, when we get to the racetrack, the car is ready to go on the racetrack, all except for the inspection and one last final check.
We make a little plan, you know, for taking the fuel cell out. We have the gas pumped out of it already. We're all ready to take it out. They take the fuel cell completely out of it and sometimes take it apart, so you have to have all the fuel out. But we make provisions at the shop for this Friday morning to go as smooth as possible.
The challenge is get ready for inspection, preparation that includes body, chassis, and motor.
Well, you've got an engine in a car that NASCAR will go through their routine inspection as far as the cubic inches, the correct components as far as the cylinder heads, a lot of the external things that are visual to measure. The intake manifold, ignition, the oil pan is a major consideration, and close inspection of the carburetor too. So it's looked at pretty detailed.
While the car is prepped for inspection, crews lay out the spring and shock setups, rehearsed in testing, then polished in practice.
We usually have 3 sets waiting beside it. We have a game plan that we'll get ready at the shop. We'll start out with what we know works, and then we'll work on either 1 or 2 different setups on what we think might work, and it'll possibly end up with a 3rd one that we weren't sure about.
And each player knows his role and his responsibility. The key is execution.
Well, that comes with time. You know, these guys have been together for a while, and they know everybody knows their position and their jobs to do, and they do it well.
Many teams now use non-sanctioned tracks to twist and tighten, saving precious time on Fridays.
Yeah, that's correct. And we also, when we go test at a short track, you'll take a little bit of time to break in extra sets of brakes, so you'll be prepared when you go to the shorter tracks and places where brakes are a problem.
Finally, the shower of horsepower begins to pour.
Well, each of our teams, we've got an engine guy there with them, and their responsibility is, so when the driver gets here, that car's warmed up, ready to go to the racetrack. So it's got fresh plugs in it. It's got the tune for the conditions of the racetrack or for the area that we're at. Weather-wise is primarily what I'm speaking of. Ignition timing, you know, he's looking at the thing with some margin of safety to it, because you're interested in making laps and practicing the car and working on the car, not that much on that fine tune of the engine, but that will come along as practice continues and you get ready to qualify.
This ballet of balance is a blend of tension and timing, a mix of hustle and humor. The clock is ticking, the pressure is mounting, and it's only 8:30 on a Friday morning.
Finally, is it a relief to get the car out on the track?
Yeah, I tell you, it is a relief. I guess the biggest relief is getting that sticker from Buster. You know, NASCAR and them, they're tough on this inspection, which is good because it keeps competition close.
The checkered flag may be 2 days and 500 miles away, but the winning move of the race might be made on a quiet Friday morning just after sunrise.
It starts there for sure. I think preparation during the week is what wins the race for you.
That team has helped Dale Earnhardt win 6 of his 7 NASCAR Winston Cup championships. They know about preparation. Still to come on this edition of Inside Winston Cup Racing, we'll have the mailbox, and we'll also talk to Bill Simpson about his role in auto racing. The IWCR voice mailbox is brought to you by Miller Genuine Draft.
At what point does the flagman fly the blue flag for drivers to move over for faster cars?
The blue flag is waved or shown to the driver that is a lap down or a laps down, and the leaders or the guys running in the lead lap are about to catch him. The working of the flag will usually indicate whether we're asking the driver to go to the inside of the racetrack or to the outside of the racetrack, so the guys in the lead lap can get by.
Questions for the voicemail box are recorded on the finishing positions hotline at 1-900-73-RACES. You can also get up-to-the-minute qualifying results, race results, and point standings. 89 cents a minute in the U.S., 99 cents in Canada. Average call 2 minutes for mailbox or 3 minutes for results. Call 1-900-73-RACES. If we use your question, you'll receive this Miller Genuine Draft Race Team Jacket.
This is the race car Bill Simpson drove in the 1976 Indianapolis 500 and was one of the first cars Rick Mears drove when he was trying to get his IndyCar career started. We'll talk to Bill Simpson after we take a break, and as we leave you for this break, here's a look at what's coming up next week right here on IWCR.
Now it's back to the pursuit of points as the Winston Cup Series once again returns to Charlotte for the longest race of the season. Jeff Gordon is the defending champion, and next Sunday morning we'll have the pre-race report from the Coca-Cola 600.
Hi, I'm Tanya Tucker. Happy 10th anniversary to Inside Winston Cup Racing. Way to go, guys.
After Bill Simpson's race driving career ended, he became one of the leaders in developing safety products for the racing industry. He'll find a need and fill it, and certainly he's one of the most respected people in the sport of auto racing in this regard. This new facility here in Mooresville, North Carolina, is the latest in the long line of success that he has had. And while we were here, we had an opportunity to talk to Bill Simpson.
Bill Simpson has been designing and delivering safety products to racers worldwide for over 35 years. And as the sport of auto racing has grown, so has the appeal of racing apparel for the fans. So as you would expect, if there is a demand, this man delivers. Just east of Charlotte, North Carolina, in the town of Mooresville sets the site of Simpson World. And to put it in Simpson World words, this place is a gas.
This place, absolutely gorgeous. The intent of it, I guess obviously it's merchandising for the fans. I suppose you could probably pick up some safety products in here as well, but the sport has really grown and you're keeping up with it. This is a great idea.
Well, I looked around and saw the way Winston Cup items were merchandised, and I feel like the sport is above that. And I wanted to put together a place that fans could come and racers could come, and that would be sort of state-of-the-art. I think that's what we've done here. We've gone about 5 steps above whatever is out there.
And what's inside? Well, there are suits and shirts, hats and helmets, cups and keychains, shoes and artwork. Just about anything you would want from any of the top drivers and teams. And if they don't have it, they'll get it for you. It's a retail store that looks like a racing museum.
The decor here. We see got Rusty's car up there. Can't even see back there. Daryl and geez, what's that old Indy car doing down there?
That's an old car from 1975, and we didn't have a place to put it. It's been in storage, and we brought it out of storage and cleaned it up, and there she sits. And then I've got my little John Butera Speedster, which I put 100 miles on that motorcycle, and that's all it'll ever be, because it's a piece of art. And there's some memorabilia in here that belongs to me. And I'm not finished. My helmet collection's coming down from Wyoming. I have about 16 Indy 500 winners and 5 world champions from Formula One, as well as all the Winston Cup champions. And I will have their helmets on display here before it's over with.
Well, we talked about that Indy car down there, which leads me to the next question, the month of May.
No, year of May.
The year of May. Winston Cup, Indy cars. What's your schedule been like? What have you been doing?
Well, there's 2 national drag races. There's Indianapolis. There's practice, which goes on all month long, qualifying, which was last weekend, and then the coming weekend when we're looking at this, we have the Winston, and then we have the World 600 as well as the Indianapolis 500. And I have been literally living in airplanes back and forth. And obviously my primary goal in all of this is not fan stores. Sure. This is a very important time for us. We've brought out 2 significant new products at Indianapolis, and they're not even for sale to the public. It's to enhance the safety and to go another step forward, and we've done that. And now we've got something that we're going to bring to the Winston Cup guys in the form of a new type of a heat shield for the floor pans. And even though that's not a very glamorous thing,
they need that.
They need it. This problem has arisen just recently, and so we've been working on it pretty hard, and we've got some materials that we think are pretty high zoot. And when the month of May is over with, or the year of May, if you will, Bill gets to rest.
Bill Simpson hopes to open 50 of these facilities in the next 2 years. Meanwhile, if you're ever in the Mooresville, North Carolina area, be sure to stop by this facility. It's a race fan's delight. And tell them IWCR sent you. Our thanks to Bill Simpson and all the folks for allowing us to come in here. Our time's up for today. Hope you enjoyed the show. Join us again here on TNN for more on Inside Winston Cup Racing.
Today's show has been brought to you by Texaco Clean System 3 Gasolines. Add more life to your car. Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft, making the world a very cool place. And by Goodyear, #1 in racing, #1 in tires. Drivers, race teams, and race fans, have you ordered the new 1995 Team Simpson catalog? Don't get left out of the action. Call 1-800-71-RACIN and join Team Simpson today. The official conversion van of Inside Winston Cup Racing is Gladiator by Glavelle, America's #1 luxury van. Glavelle, the way we put it together, sets us apart.